Jai Hind, this is Brigadier Hemant Mahajan. The subject that we are going to talk today is countering China and Pakistan's hybrid war against India. We are all aware that China and Pakistan have launched all-out hybrid war against India. It is also called as grey zone warfare. It is also called as multi-domain warfare. It continuously goes on in various fields. And most important issue is how does India counter these kind of wars which China and Pakistan have launched against us. So in next about 15 to 20 minutes, we'll speak on this issue which are of very importance. First is, let us start talking about the first aspect, that is talk about Pakistan. There is the news that Pakistani army chief has asked for USA help in securing loan from International Monetary Fund because Pakistan is not able to repay the loans which it has taken from IMF. Pakistan's today economic situation is at an all-time low. Inflation is rising very, very fast. Food security, there's a problem. Energy security, there's a problem. Not only this, imagine an army chief ringing up United States asking about loans. Is it ever done? This itself tells you as to how serious is the situation in Pakistan. Also, Imran Khan and the political parties are completely divided, and Pakistani army is busy fighting even the political parties. There was also a video that went viral in which Taliban fighters were seen destroying pillars which had been erected on the Pakistan-Afghanistan border called as the Durand Line. Obviously, Taliban does not accept Durand Line, which is supposed to be the international border between Afghanistan and Pakistan. And lot of groups from Afghanistan launched attack against Pakistan from that side of the Durand Line. Now, next issue is Pakistan government has reported that there are 434 attacks on security forces in Pakistan in the first half of 2022, which means there is an attack on Pakistani security forces every day. Pakistan forces are being attacked in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. They are being attacked along the Pakistan and Afghanistan Durand Line. They are being attacked in Balochistan. They are being attacked along the China-Pakistan economic corridor. All in all, the security situation in Pakistan is extremely tense, and Pakistan is in trouble both in terms of internal security as well as economic security. Another important news is that the Indian Army Chief General Manoj Pandey is on a visit to Bhutan. One would remember that some time back there was a report that the Chinese have intruded and constructed a village near Doklam on the Bhutan side of borders. And India is also responsible for providing security to Bhutan. So therefore, this visit is very, very important. So how does one look at happenings in Pakistan? It is very simple and clear. Pakistan is in deep trouble in terms of economic aspect, security aspect, etc. But we have to ensure that we guard the border properly so that refugees and others do not overflow from Pakistani side towards our side. Now let us next talk about how do we counter economic subversion of the Chinese phone makers in India, companies such as Xiaomi, Oppo, OnePlus, Vivo, etc. It was reported that these companies have channeled nearly 7.9 billion rupees outside India, mainly to China, to escape tax liability. The amount laundered is so much that their sale today in India since 2014 is 1.25 trillion, and they are taking out the money outside India. This is against all known rules. So therefore, these investigative agencies were raided across 48 locations and a lot of important documents have been found. It was also found that these people had a long chain of suppliers. There are a lot of Indians who were working for them, but the thing is very clear. By a methodical search, we have found out the wrong things being done by this company. So it is very, very clear that the Chinese are not going to have a free run in India. If they have to stay in India, they have to follow India's rules and regulation. Next point is that today we are trying to de-link our economy from China. We have been trying to do that since last about 4 or 5 years, but some of our corporate world has got so addicted to cheap Chinese goods that they keep on importing stuff from China. This ensures that the Chinese, what China exports to us and what we export to them, there is a tremendous difference. The difference is as much as $90 billion. Now a time is come to stop unnecessary imports from China. Time is come to tell the Chinese that you will get no free passes in India. You will follow rules and regulations, and the pushback against China has to become stronger. And today we are doing it in a big way. Huawei was not allowed to take part in 4G trials. Data security is being ensured. Import dependence on critical matters which was coming from China, we are trying to produce them in India, and we are also going in for what is called as the supply chain diversification, meaning instead of getting the required stuff from China, let us get it from other places like maybe Europe, America, and other Asian countries. The most important aspect with regard to China is that the trade gap between India and China is just not reducing. Despite our best attempt, it is still in the region of $80 billion as far as 2021 is concerned. So therefore, we have to tighten our belt. We have to stop all the import from China, especially toys, especially crackers, especially stuff that comes for Diwali and Dashera and Raksha Bandhan, etc. Because Chinese have literally killed our small scale sector, they have killed our middle scale sector, and they continue to infiltrate into our economy. They carry out illegal trade, etc. I just give you one example of the illegal trade. The stuff from China comes by sea in the container. They show that they have goods with worth 1 crore, but actually there are goods worth 10 crores. That means 9 crores of goods per container come without paying any import duty or GST, etc. So we have to tighten up our import of stuff from China because they are misusing Indian laws. Now the next issue is the NSA Ajit Doval has raised the issue of United Kingdom based Khalistani extremism and Sikh radicalism. He spoke to his counterpart in UK on this issue. Now remember, Khalistani extremism and terrorism is being nurtured in Europe, in Canada, in USA by just few radicals. I repeat, just by few radicals. So therefore, we have to use our diplomatic power and neutralize anti-Indian activities in these countries. We have to tell these countries like Europe and all that if you want to trade with India, you have to please control the elements which are acting against India. The next important aspect is job creation. The Ministry of Home Affairs is going to fill up vacancies of 84,000 in Central Armed Police Forces like the Border Security Force, the CRPF, the ITBP, the Seema Suraksha Bal, Assam Rifle, etc. The Maharashtrian youth and all youth all over India must make full use of this opportunity because this is one of the biggest job creation that has been done in the recent times. Also, there is a news that Agniveers or soldiers who come in the army for only 4 years will be given 10% of reservation in the Central Armed Police Forces. Okay. The next issue is winning the information war. Government of India has made it very clear to the intermediaries or the technical giants like Facebook, Twitter, that if a fake news comes on their platform, they are responsible for it. Earlier, Facebook used to say or Twitter used to say, we are only an intermediary. We do not know what is put there. So, lot of fake news, lot of news dividing the society was being put there. But now the government is going to make a rule and tell them, no, you will be responsible for anything bad, any fake news that comes on your platform. Technology giants such as Google, Facebook, Twitter has to be made very clear that India's national security is of prime importance, and these platforms will work only under Indian laws and not compromise India's national security. The next issue pertains to India's external security, that is security against China. Today we are busy developing infrastructure, that means roads, bridges, etc. on the Indo-China border, on the Indo-Pakistan border, on the LOC, on the LAC, on the international border. Just to quote some statistics, 2088 kilometers of road has been constructed in the areas bordering China. In addition, 4,242 crores have been spent constructing 1,300 kilometers of road along Pakistan, and 882 crores have been incurred for building up roads in Myanmar in last 5 years. So infrastructure development is taking place rapidly along the LOC, LAC and the international border, which is a good news. But what is important is that this infrastructure should also be allowed to be used for tourism, because all these locations on the border should be open for tourism, so that people living on the border will benefit because of the tourism industry. Also, it will ensure Indian presence in the remote areas of ours, in Ladakh, in the area of Arunachal Pradesh, etc. This is already being done in the area of Ladakh. Similar thing should be done in the area of Northeast, so that our people live right till the international border. They will live there only if economic progress is going to be there. Now, next is the Ministry of Defence under Shri Rajnath Singh has in the context of Make in India, has given orders to the private sector of orders worth nearly 72,000 crores. They have also given orders of 28,730 crores for small arms, for swarm drones and many other systems. Today, the good part is that the private sector has ventured into the military manufacture, and there is an intense competition within the private sector to get orders from the Defence Ministry. There are groups like Kalyani, that is Bharat Forge, Adani Defence, etc., who are all competing among themselves to get the orders from Government of India. This will ensure reduced cost. This will also ensure higher quality, because the companies are competing with each other. Next issue that I talk about is the use of artificial intelligence, especially on aircraft carriers, especially on the submarines. Artificial intelligence has tremendous capability to handle complex warfares, and its adoption in various levels makes our war fighting more efficient. Today, the Navy is integrating artificial intelligence into various ship systems, weapons, networks, command and control centers, including the advanced algorithms to improve the entire matrix of war fighting. Now let us talk about something more on strategic aspects of the India's national security. There's a deepening of relationship between America and India. That's a very good news, because America is a technological superpower, and a lot of technology from America now is coming to India. One of them is called as the dual use technology. India has already been granted a status called Strategic Trade Authorization Tier 1 status, which allows India to acquire lot of military technology from America. This will ensure that our modernization in various fields moves up at a faster speed. We should also use some kind of a stick against China, because China keeps on talking about Kashmir, it keeps on talking about helping Pakistan. So similarly, Dalai Lama is there in our country, Tibetan government in exile functions at Dharamshala in Himachal Pradesh. There's a large diaspora of Tibetans who are there, so they are great assets. While their human rights are being violated on the Tibetan plateau, their culture is being destroyed. The Dalai Lama, his successor, China says it will nominate a successor. Complete Tibetan plateau is under surveillance. A lot of Tibetans have been stopped from grazing their cattle in the forward areas. So therefore, there is a complete violation of human rights of the Tibetan people. We must bring this out to the entire world so that we are able to put pressure on China. The next is, will Pakistan be able to secure its China-Pakistan economic corridor? The answer is the number of attacks on the CPEC corridor have increased drastically, and China is telling Pakistan that please allow our Chinese private security companies to guard our projects and nationals in Pakistan. Pakistan up till now has said no. However, China is putting further pressure, and Chinese security companies coming there will complicate the matter for Pakistan, simply because Pakistan will have to explain this to their own people. Now, not only that, Pakistan is cash strapped. It requires a bailout package from International Monetary Fund. There were reports that this package is being given to them. Now there are reports that this has been withheld for some technical reasons. In fact, the Federal Minister for Planning of Pakistan has told Pakistanis to reduce consumption of tea by 1 to 2 cups daily to save economy from collapsing. So which simply means that Pakistan today is in a very difficult times, and they have a problem even maintaining their economy. Now, China is not only carrying out a hybrid war on India, but it is also carrying on the rest of the world. There's a news that Taiwan is going to be a likely place where a escalation may take place between USA and China, because visit of Mrs. Pelosi, who's the Speaker of United States House of Representatives, who's going to Taiwan. China has warned that should she land there, they will take very strict action against it. And the chairman of Joint Chief of Staff, Mark Milley, has told the media that China today is close to having the military capability to invade Taiwan. Meaning, what the USA chief is saying is that Chinese have the capability to invade Taiwan in terms of naval assets, in terms of air assets, in terms of amphibious assets. It is just a matter of time when they will decide whether to invade or not invade. So therefore, America and Taiwan will have to be on the stand too. Now, next issue is about the hybrid war which China has launched against the United Kingdom. And who's talking about it? People who are talking about is Mr. Rishi Sunak, who's a leading candidate for the ongoing race of prime ministership in United Kingdom. He says China is the biggest threat to British and the world security. If he's saying it, there are many reasons for it. In fact, this would have been a separate topic for discussion as to how the Chinese have infiltrated into United Kingdom, into their think tanks, into their media, into their schools and colleges, etc. In fact, the other candidates, Mrs. Liz Truss, who's another frontline runner in the United Kingdom elections, have also said that she will increase the Commonwealth trade to curb China's malign influence on United Kingdom. So both the candidates are talking about China being enemy number one. Now, most important issue is if Europe and America are greatly threatened by the hybrid war which China has launched against them, how do we use it? We also face a similar problem of China's hybrid war or gray zone war against us. So it's a great opportunity for us to build up alliances with the Western world to fight against China unitedly. Now, my second last point of the talk today is the Ukraine-Russia war. Heavy artillery duels are going on between the two countries, causing heavy losses. The beneficiary of this is the military-industrial complex, who's got orders worth $20 billion. Russia has decided to cut off gas from the European Union, which will create very serious problems of energy security as far as Europe is concerned. So, how does this war affect India? India has managed to control the fallouts of Russia-Ukraine war much better than Europe, than America, or for that matter, rest of the world. Today we are getting crude which is 30% cheaper than the international market, and this has helped us to keep the prices of oil and gas more steady in our country than it has been in rest of the world. Also, there's a great news that after a gap of nearly 6 months, 50,000 tons of sunflower oil from Ukraine will reach India. Now, oil prices were increasing in India, so this is a great news. It will help us to secure our food security. Finally, to conclude, I will say that just few days back we celebrated the Kargil Vijay Divas, which was a heroic act by young officers and soldiers of the Indian Army who threw out the Pakistanis. Now the threat is not of a Kargil war, but more of Chinese hybrid or multi-domain war, which goes on 365 days a year. So therefore, Indian security forces, Indian government, every Indian security establishment has to make a comprehensive plan for countering each and every act of hybrid war which is done by China or Pakistan. It should be made very clear to China and Pakistan that they will not go scot-free if they disturb India's security. This is what is very important, be it in the cyber domain, be it in the space domain, be it in the economic domain, be it in the diplomatic domain. We have to guard our national interest. Today, Europe and the world is worried about China's rise. So therefore, what we need to do today is build up alliances with these people so that we are able to fight the nuance or the nuisance of China unitedly along with the rest of the world. Before I end today, I must compliment our athletes in the Commonwealth Games who have done a great job. Mirabai Chanu has won a gold medal. A Sangli boy, Sanket, has won a silver medal. Unfortunately, he's damaged his shoulder and he'll be out of action for about 2 months. That is what the newspaper reports say. But he has done a wonderful job. And another bronze medal has been done again in the weightlifting category. The Indian chess teams, Indian A, India B, India C, are doing wonderfully well in the chess competition. All in all, the sporting talent of India is blossoming, and India is doing well in as far as the Commonwealth Games are concerned. If you like this video, please like it and share it with as many people as possible. Jai Hind.